Who would have imagined? But that scene, what does that say about the American Republic? It is so important that we have this illegal program inaugurated, we're going to go to the hospital bed of this poor man. This represents, it seems, the American government today. We live at a time, and the vision is the United States president says that he can determine that any American citizen, even if captured in America, is an illegal combatant. That's it. No problem. It's the vision, I have to say, of conservatives who've long warned against executive power and abusive state power, who now want to create the national security state for who? Hillary Clinton, I suppose. President Hillary Clinton, Attorney General Jamie Gorelick. I try to imagine them having all of these powers. What kind of a vision of America is this? The America today is an America where we snatch a poor German who has the unfortunate decision to go to the Balkans for a holiday, and he spends 5 months in a Pakistani prison, apparently enjoying the, well, I wouldn't want to call it torture, whatever it is that we provide these days, the hospitality of the CIA and military interrogators, at which point we suddenly realize he's the wrong guy. So, of course, what we do is we drop him back in the Balkans with his passport and say, oh, well, but refuse to be held accountable. Certainly don't expect the German government to get any answers out of us. Of course, we do more or less the same thing with a poor Canadian citizen. We managed to get him deported off to Syria. And, of course, now this is a government that we think is so hideous we won't talk to it. But we're very happy to have citizens of a democracy sent off there to be interrogated and enjoy the hospitality there. And of course, now we will not be held accountable. The Canadians say it was bad information, and we refuse. He's still on the no-fly list. We won't explain. We don't have to explain. We are, after all, the United States of America. Who is to hold us accountable? There's the endless succession of deaths of Iraqis. In a raid, at a checkpoint, a bomb going off, the same in Afghanistan. These are deaths for which we should weep. These are deaths that we are, unfortunately, ultimately responsible for. Now, it may very well be that war will always have awful consequences, but a war voluntarily undertaken, a war undertaken on basis of lies, has resulted in carnage and death of innocent human beings around the world. And this is the vision of America now that is transmitted around the world. This is the vision of America that's on every TV station. This is the vision of the world, as I think Joseph indicated last night, that's seen in the Muslim world. This is a horror. It's a moral horror for us, and it's a policy horror for us. Indeed, what we see is the disintegration of an entire society before our eyes. Entire communities there, the Christian community, for example, destroyed, half of the people driven out of their home country. Neighborhoods destroyed, people tortured. All of this inaugurated as kind of grand social engineering on the part of American policymakers who had a great theory of how we can remake the Middle East. And by God, we have remade the Middle East. And it's also the funerals that occur every day in America, now an average of 3 a day of American soldiers killed. Now, these are people, these are patriots. My father was career military, my brother-in-law was career military, I have friends who are military. These are not evil warmongers. These are people who want to serve their country. Many of them believe in their mission. They want to do good. These are wonderful, wonderful people. And their lives are being squandered. When it comes down to supporting the troops, yes, let's support the troops. And how do you support them? You don't put them into this kind of a conflict. You don't put them into the kind of situations where they face what they do. I don't blame soldiers who shoot at somebody approaching a checkpoint when they fear there's a bomb in the car. We have put people in this horrible, horrible situation. The only way they can survive, the only way they can protect themselves. These people, this is America today, where these people, our best, people who want to serve, wonderful people, are dying. And their families, and their loved ones, the ones left, just watch these funerals, one after another. The children, the parents, the siblings, day after day after day. The symbol of America today, then, around the world is of endless war, a war prosecuted over the objection of allies and friends, A war increasingly opposed by those we supposedly are trying to help in Iraq. The image of America is Guantanamo Bay, of scores of other prison camps we don't know where they are, the images of planes and rendition. This is the America that other people see. This is not the America that I recognize. This is not the America of us. This is not the America of our ideals. This is not the America of the people. I think our country, I think our Americans are decent people, wonderful people. They want to do the best. They're generous. This is not their America. It's not our America. So what to do? Quite simply, we must save the Republic. And I think that's what we are facing now today. I don't claim that we're about to fall into a fascist dictatorship and that, Dick Cheney is going to declare martial law. No, I don't think that's it. The danger is not so much that we will see that kind of overt abuse. The danger is much more step by step, the erosion of rights, the destruction of our values, where we become callous, where our consciences no longer work, where the fact that thousands die abroad doesn't bother us, where we no longer question and reflect on our conduct. That's the great danger. And look around us. We have a president today who tells us that Korea is now the model for Iraq. Well, we've been in Korea for 57 years, which I suppose means we can be in Iraq then to at least 2060. Now, wouldn't that be a lot of fun? How many have to die? How much more terrorism? How much more destruction? How many more Americans have to die? How many more Iraqis have to die? Can that seriously be a policy? But then look at the alternatives. Look on the Republican side. Other than Ron Paul, who do we have? The great hopes, right? The ones to come in to save the Republican Party, it's Fred Thompson and Newt Gingrich. Is this the Republic that we all know and love and respect? Look at the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton, well, it's not as if Hillary Clinton is against war. The issue for Hillary Clinton and Obama and most of these people, it's not do we have war, it's which war. Kosovo's fine. Darfur would be fine. Oh, we just don't like George Bush's war. The reality I think we know is if it was Bill Clinton who had started the Iraq War, most of the Democrats would have been applauding wildly. And the Republicans would have been out there talking about Bill Clinton's war. What we see today is partisan politicians, hacks, people who care nothing about the Republic, people who care nothing about principle, people who are willing to sacrifice anything, essentially, for their own political ambitions. So at this time of peril, we have to look beyond the differences that we have. What we have to do today is defend the essence of the American Republic. It's a system that protects our liberty, a system based on the rule of law, a system that treats everyone justly. You don't get sent off to a secret prison camp. Someone, somewhere can step forward to protect you. It's a system that holds people accountable. Even the most powerful people in the land must be held accountable. It's a system that seeks to protect its citizens while respecting the lives and the dignity of people around the world. It's a system that resolutely defends us from foreign threats, but also is intelligent enough to discern what are threats and how best to defend against them. It's also a system that balances very carefully, the sacrifice of liberties in pursuit of security. The Constitution is not a suicide pact, it's been said, and that's absolutely true. On the other hand, what makes this country great, what makes it so great, is it's a system of ordered liberty and our freedom. What makes this nation unique is that what other countries don't have, that we start with the individual. We're not part of the king or something else. Or as Britain, the Official Secrets Act, any of these things. We have something very fundamental here that we must protect, that we are not like other nations in that way. And that's the essence of America. It's a system that resolutely deals with foreign threats while at the same time rigorously reassesses our own conduct and recognizes that sometimes Americans, American leaders, American institutions make mistakes. And when they do, we admit it. We repent.